Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Regarding the concept of the hereafter, the misconception I'd like to discuss today and intend to clarify relates to this notion that if a person is able to guide a blind person for 40 steps, then paradise is guaranteed for him. Now, this notion has arisen because of certain narratives which have been recorded in our hadith books, and unfortunately, none of these narratives is sound. And I'll just read out one of these narratives. Of course, there are a number of variants which are found in our hadith books regarding this particular topic. However, I'll just select and choose one of them and show that how our hadith authorities have severely criticized the chain of narration of such narratives. Now, this particular narrative is recorded in the Al-Mawrid al-Kabir of Imam Tabarani, and the words are, the narrative itself is reported from Abdullah ibn Umar, anhu. He says that the Prophet Muhammad said, قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من كاد أعمى 40 خطوة وجبت له الجنة, which means that if a person is able to guide a blind person for 40 steps, then paradise is guaranteed for him. Now, our worthy hadith authorities have criticized a narrator by the name of Ali ibn Urwa and severely criticized him and regarded him to be an unreliable person. I'll just narrate some very few comments of these hadith authorities, which will show how severe a criticism they have done on him. According to Yahya ibn Ma'in, Ali ibn Urwa is laysa bishay. Bukhari says that he is majhul. Abu Hatim says he is matrukul hadith. And similarly, Salih Muhammad al-Asadi says that kana yada'ul hadith. Similarly is the opinion of Abu Hatim, which means that he fabricates and he concocts narratives. Abu al-Fatah al-Azdi says la yuktabu hadithuhu, which means that his narratives are not worthy of being written down, Similarly, Ibn Hajar says that he's matruk, he must be forsaken. So, in the light of these comments by our hadith authorities, this narrative is not reliable at all. And as I said earlier on, other narratives of similar meaning also, none of them is reliable, and none of them can be depended upon. So therefore, this concept of guiding a blind person for 40 steps and being guaranteed paradise is something which is an entirely baseless and alien concept. It has been incorporated because of these narratives, and none of which is reliable, as I said. And as far as paradise is concerned, we know that the Quran is very clear that a person has to have faith, a person must be doing good deeds, and his good deeds must outnumber his evil ones. And similarly, it must not be a person who has intentionally denied the truth. So these conditions of salvation in the hereafter, conditions of going to paradise, are very clearly written in the Quran. And of course, guiding a blind person for 40 steps or for 30 steps or for whatever the amount of distance is something is of a very noble deed. But of course, this is something which cannot be relied upon. It would be absolutely illogical to believe that merely guiding a blind person for 40 steps and then having any character or any amount of misdeeds that would take a person to paradise. So it needs to be understood that this narrative which says that a person who guides a blind person for 40 steps is guaranteed paradise is a narrative which has been critically analyzed and severely criticized. It is not reliable at all, and this notion has no basis in the contents of Islam. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات.